Brazil's central bank has just launched their experimental central bank digital currency, and there are two projects that I do believe are set to benefit greatly from the rapid adoption of crypto in Latin America. The first one is CRO, as Crypto.com continues to gain key regulatory approval in this region, recently receiving their secure payments institution license in late last year, as well as Quant, who is working on the Latin American blockchain and the Latin American digital dollar. So we're going to break all that down for you guys in today's video. We know that the US, mainly the SEC, has been very hesitant to adopt crypto, and they really stunted its growth in North America, but other regions are not slowing down when it comes to adopting this new technology, and we can see that here as indicated by Brazil's central bank, as they are in fact launching an experimental CBDC. Now, before we talk about exactly what's happening with the CBDC, I want to just kind of preface this by talking about why it is so important to pay attention to Latin America as a whole. So according to Chainalysis, this is a crypto analytics firm, Latin America is the 7th largest cryptocurrency market in the index this year, which pretty much monitors what countries and regions are adopting crypto at the fastest pace, with citizens of Latin America countries receiving $562 billion in crypto from July of 2021 to June of 2022. This represents a 40% growth over last year's total, and Latin America is home to 5 of the top 30 countries in this year's crypto index, with Brazil coming in 7th place, Argentina in 13th, Colombia in 15th, Ecuador 18th, and Mexico in 28th respectively. And they basically analyze on-chain activity, identifying 3 key use cases driving crypto adoption. 1 is storing value, 2 is sending remittances, and 3 is seeking alpha. So, I mean, you can see here right off the bat that Latin America is the 7th largest cryptocurrency market, and Brazil is actually ranked 7th out of the top 30 countries for crypto adoption. So a big deal to see that they are in fact moving ahead with a central bank digital currency, and this is actually in response to Pix. This is an instant payment system that currently exists in Brazil, and it has seen a lot of success here, as you basically are able to send instant cross-border transfers 24/7. This is the main appeal of crypto and blockchain technology, and obviously if the Brazilian central bank sees an application doing this well, they're going to want to get this done through their bank in the form of an upcoming CBDC. So it's worth noting that as of right now, this is in fact only in the experimental phase, but they are looking for a full-blown launch by sometime in 2024. This means within the next year to year and a half, we will finally see the full-scale launch of a central bank digital currency in different regions. Now, there are 2 main projects that I do think are set to benefit greatly from this, as discussed at the beginning of the video. And the first one here is in fact CRO, the second one is Quant, and we are going to break all that down. But first, it is worth noting that CRO is not without competition. More specifically, Crypto.com is not without competition in this region, as it was announced back in January that Binance and MasterCard have launched a prepaid crypto card in Brazil. And if we scroll down right here, it says that the Binance card will allow all new and existing Binance users in Brazil with a valid national ID to make purchases and pay bills with cryptocurrencies, including both Bitcoin and BNB. One of the perks includes up to 8% cashback in crypto on eligible purchases and 0 fees on ATM withdrawals. Binance cardholders will also be able to manage their cards through their card dashboard on the Binance app and website. Now, the reason we are mentioning this right off the bat is because Binance is the largest exchange in the world. Brazil is one of the fastest adopting countries when it comes to crypto, and I do believe that if Brazil was to launch a central bank digital currency, that they would in fact go ahead and actually offer direct support for the CBDC via the Binance app. So Binance does have a lot to gain from launching their Visa preemptively here in Brazil. Now, it's worth noting that the Crypto.com Visa has actually been available in this region since November 11th of 2021. And I do want to mention this because it goes to show you guys that Crypto.com really has been focusing on that global expansion, and they were already targeting key regions outside of North America even during the bull market. And I'm going to show you guys with some news in a couple of minutes that they have continued to expand in these regions even throughout the bear market. So the reason I think that the November 2021 launch date is actually incredibly relevant is because this did coincide with the top of Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market. And I do believe that this would have been great for actually onboarding tons of new users when the prices were high, when the FOMO was high. And throughout the bear market, even they've still continued to offer these Visa services in Brazil. So they have about a year and a half head start over Binance in terms of actually getting getting their visas out here on a global, or sorry, just on a regional scale to retail. And this is very important because if we actually take a look at the centralized exchange assets under management, you're going to notice that Binance has a massive monopoly over this industry at the moment, coming in here with 76.26 billion in total value locked. Bitfinex is in second place with 9.49 billion, so a substantial lead even over second place here. I mean, if we're actually being realistic, Coinbase is somewhere first or second on this list, because I believe Coinbase has in and around 80 billion in customer assets, but it is not on this website for some reason. But the point being is that Coinbase and Binance have a massive lead over the rest of the competition. OKX coming in third with 9.37 billion, and Crypto.com coming in fourth place with 3.96 billion. So compare that to Binance's $76.26 billion in customer assets, and yes, Crypto.com does need to move quick ahead of the competition, and that's exactly what they've done here, as their Visa card has pretty much been in Brazil for almost a year and a half at this point, while Binance is just beginning to launch theirs with MasterCard. Now, additionally, in March, they did improve the infrastructure for the Visa, now allowing it to be used via Apple Pay. I think this is very important just for the everyday ease of use of this Visa, to see Crypto.com actually working with Apple and making sure their Visa does work with their pay program. I do think, once again, that this just sticks with the whole theme of crypto, of actually removing the need for physical devices, for physical cards, and making everything digital. I do think that if Brazil was to launch a central bank digital currency, that Crypto.com would also support this via their app to be used with their Visa card. And the reason being here is because on December 15th of last year, Crypto.com secured a payment institution license in Brazil. So Crypto.com actually went ahead and got this license. This will allow Crypto.com to continue offering regulated fiat services for customers. And it says here the license was received directly from the Central Bank of Brazil, who is launching the upcoming CBDC. Now, the CEO, Chris Marzalek, says right here in the post that Brazil and the entire Latin American market is a significant region in the pursuit of vision for crypto in every wallet. We are incredibly proud to secure the license in Brazil, allowing us to lead a safe, secure, and compliant platform. We look forward to continuing to work with regulators and authorities throughout the region in advancing cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. And I do believe this is a big deal for Crypto.com in terms of the adoption for CRO coin as well. And it's not only due to the brand awareness to actually getting Crypto.com in Brazil. There is in fact an actual reason. There is sort of like a valid use case for CRO coin in relation to the Visa, and that is the fact that you do have to stake a certain amount of CRO to actually get the Visa and then maintain a certain reward structure. So actually buying the Visa, locking up your CRO for this Visa does have implications, as it effectively removes this CRO from the float as it is locked up, and I believe this is a very big deal for Crypto.com, not only for the brand recognition that it will get in Brazil from this Visa program, but also in direct relation to CRO coin. As you guys know, if you do have one of the Visas, or if you are familiar with the program, you actually have to buy and lock up a certain amount of CRO to be eligible for the Visa, and then you have to keep this CRO locked up for the reward structure. And this is a very big deal in terms of actually simply removing CRO coin from the flow and having it locked up here for this payment program. So this does have a direct correlation with the actual use cases and demand for CRO, and I do believe that the more this card is adopted in Brazil, the better the price action will be for CRO coin itself. Now, one other project that I do think is set to benefit greatly from the Latin American dollar is in fact Quant, as it has been confirmed they're working with the Latin American chain to launch a Latin American dollar, and that this is going to be launched in over 12 countries in this region. So I actually found this clip here on Twitter of the Quant CEO talking about LAC chain, and I do kind of want to play it so you understand just how deep this connection runs. So I'm going to play this 1-minute clip for you right now.
One of the biggest things that we're doing is we're actually creating the Latin American dollar, and that's quite exciting. So this is with the Inter-American Development Bank over in Washington. They've created a LAC chain consortium, which is the Latin America chain, and they asked us to participate and bring our technology to Latin America. And what that does is it allows us to interconnect the region. So all the countries that we're working with, initially 12 countries, will be using the Overledger technology to create an interbank network between all the different countries in the regions, and then create remittance and payment corridors between the US and Latin America. and so.
So that's really the big thing I did want to highlight from that clip is the fact that the Latin American chain is being developed in partnership with Quant to launch the Latin American dollar, and this is being adopted by 12 countries so far in this region. It's going to be used to settle peer-to-peer payments within the region, as well as cross-border payments between Latin America and the US. So a very big use case for a digital currency, which is in fact going to be launched via the Quant Overledger. And we can see here right on their website, if we actually go to the digital currencies aspect, it says why the Quant Overledger is such a powerful choice to launch this technology on. It says here, I want to scroll down. So the challenge is that without proper regulation, currencies face serious challenges, particularly in the form of privacy and security, right? So at the end of the day, a CBDC is a good idea, but if there is any weakness in the blockchain infrastructure in the underlying token itself, this could be a massive threat to national economies, and Quant does offer a solution through their technology, which provides the flexibility to support a wide range of use cases reliably, securely, and at the scale necessary for commercial, national, and international implementation. It says right on their website, we facilitate central bank digital currency issuance and transactions, commercial stablecoin issuance and transactions, and tokenized money. And this is through the 3 different building blocks for digital currencies that are built using their patent pending products. So number 1 is the Overledger, the world's first blockchain agnostic API gateway. Second is Overledger Integrate, their gateway's core API, enabling you to create blockchain applications that will run on any chain faster and cheaper. And third is Overledger Tokenize. You can create secure digital tokens without needing to write a single line of code. Now we can actually see here, based on this chart that I found on Twitter from Quant Navas, that the value of transactions per year in Latin America is estimated to be around $20 trillion USD. More specifically, in 2016, it was 17.9 trillion. In 2017, about 23.19 trillion dollars was settled. 2018, 26.37 trillion, and 2019, 13.95 trillion. So you can see here that trillions of dollars are actually facilitated via these transactions in Latin America, and Overledger is now set to facilitate a ton of these transactions that are going to be happening on the Latin American chain with the digital dollar. The more use that Quant Overledger gets, the more quant that is actually needed to pay off these fees that are being used for the Overledger, and that is a direct connection between the actual use case of this technology and the underlying token. And once again, Quant coming in with a supply of 14.8 mil total. I definitely do believe this will lead to a supply shock in the future for this project. Not only the use cases here in Latin America, but the use cases globally for the Quant Overledger, their partnership with Oracle, with UST Global, with Sia Chain in Europe, as well as this partnership here. They really are looking to build this out on a global scale. And I do believe that Quant will be a massive winner of the upcoming digitization of traditional finance. So without further ado, I hope you all did enjoy the content in today's video. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I am wishing you all an amazing week ahead, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out.